Hi everyone, good evening. It's almost midnight, July 10th. I just want to talk about something that I've never told anyone. Um, Back in 1985, I was working for the United Nations, and I was in the Secretariat building on the 17th floor doing my rounds of delivering mail and documents and stuff. So I'm walking down the hall towards my office, and this Russian guy, at the time, 1985, Russia was the Soviet Union. So anyone that was from Russia working at the United Nations was actually Soviet. So I see this guy come down the hall towards me, and I know he's Russian, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he checked out my legs like you would not believe. I always wore skirts. I wore nice clothes every time I went to work, high heels, very nice, kept up with my appearance. And man, did he check me out? I couldn't believe it. Never in my life did anybody ever do that. So I said, "Holy crap! This guy likes me." Yeah, I only come to find out totally wrong on that, and I'll explain. So, being the Russian student that I was at the time, I took it upon myself to introduce myself to him. I went to his office, which was across the hall, and we started to talk. And I told him about myself, and I asked him a few Russian questions, and he answered in Russian, spoke English. He wanted to know certain idioms, Russian idioms. I mean English sayings and how they mean. Like he asked me, "What is the difference between so to speak and so to say?" And I told him, "Well, there is no difference. It depends on what you want to use it for." And I explained it. And anyway, so it was around Thanksgiving time, and I really liked him. He never told me anything about himself. I thought he was single, no problem. So one day before Thanksgiving, a couple weeks, I invited him to my house to have a Thanksgiving meal, home cooked. And he said, "I'll let you know, you know." Oh, okay. So a couple days later, I go back to his office, and there's a big strappy woman in there holding the New York Times up, to cover her face. And I looked, and I said, "Hi." And my friend's face got real, he like clenched up and got so nervous. It's like, "Oh, holy shit, where, like I'm in a lot of trouble." I said, "Holy shit, who is this crazy lady?" So anyway, I quick got out of there, and I left the office, went in my office right away, and I said, "God damn it, this woman was probably KGB." So I got pissed. I went right upstairs. Took the elevator right to the top floor, to the Secretary General's office. I wanted to go straight to the top and talk to him about it. So that's what I did. And he would guards everywhere. I couldn't get past him. So they sent me to the Under Secretary General. So I was talking to him, and I said, "What's going on? How come I'm not getting anywhere with this man? I invited him to my house for Thanksgiving meal, and he's pushing me away. What's going on? He doesn't want to talk to me." He says, "Donna, didn't you ever realize that maybe he has no interest in doing that? He doesn't care, you know? Didn't you think that maybe he might be married?" I said, "He never told me anything." He goes, "Well, trust me, he's probably not interested." All right, all right. So I went back to my office, and Just to satisfy my curiosity, I went back to his office. I walk across the hall, enter the office. Well, that crazy lady was gone. But in her place was another young woman standing up next to him, and he introduced her to me as his wife. Oh, okay. Well, okay, you both are invited to my house, you know. And I couldn't believe it because this guy thought that I had a crush on him when he was the one who had a crush on me. Just goes to show you, don't let these Russians fool you. They're a bunch of hypocrites. And that was the last I heard from him.